administration and Japan at serious odds over how to cut the $37 billion U.S. trade imbalance were in agreement today in trying to quell congressional cries for tough action.
In the 1980s, from I would say around 1986 on, there was a strong backlash against Japan and Japanese trade practices. It was expressed largely by American corporations and American political leaders who felt that there was an unfair, non-level playing field, that Japan protected its markets, did not allow in American goods, used that protected market as a base to launch exports to the United States.
I continue to hear great tales of Japanese good intentions, but nothing changes. The fact is that it's no one's fault but our own that the Japanese do not trade fairly with us. We have never gotten tough.
The closure of the General Motors plant in Fremont in 1982 symbolized the friction between the U.S. and Japan. With Japanese imported goods becoming more popular, Americans began to see Japan as a threat to their jobs and their lifestyles. Then, another economic development happened that added more fuel to the anti-Japanese fire.
The Plaza Accord took place in 1985, and the value of the yen went overnight from 260 yen to the dollar to 180 yen to the dollar. So it was a very steep reevaluation of the yen. And that meant that with the yen, you could buy a lot more that was dollar denominated, like land and buildings.
In 1981, NEC opened a manufacturing plant in the United States in Roseville, near Sacramento. NEC was among the first of many Japanese companies that would build its own production operation on U.S. soil. Japanese companies eager to display good corporate citizenship supported the chamber as it joined in Mayor Feinstein's Save the Cable Car campaign. It was a major fundraising effort to update the aging cable car system in San Francisco.
And the chamber raised almost $700,000 out of a $10 million total budget for the rehabilitation of the cable cars, which are still running.
In an effort to increase its political visibility and clout, members of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce began regular trips to Sacramento to meet with legislators.
Well, it's just something that the Chamber political committee decided that would be nice to be able to meet some of our state legislature and get to know them, just have an evening of social fellowship.
In the spring of 1985, international history was made with the opening of new United Motor Manufacturing Incorporated at the old General Motors plant in Fremont. NUMMI, as it's called, was the offspring of GM and Toyota and the first automotive joint venture between an American and Japanese company.
I think what NUMMI allowed people to realize is it is possible to take good ideas from other countries, import them in the United States, graft them onto the systems we have, use American workforce, American suppliers, and also then produce cars which match the quality and durability and reliability of cars from anywhere in the world.
It brought the two companies together in a joint venture that had symbolic and political importance. It showed that two competitors, fierce competitors in the marketplace, could work together, and that it was in a way a symbol of U.S.-Japan competition and cooperation, and the resolution of this conflict through a cooperative joint venture.